Sports Tonight on Channels Television. On the 16th of October 2016, Izu Joseph, a former 3SC defender, was killed in his hometown in Okaki, Rivers State. He was buried in December, and the family, they are alleging a lot of allegations coming out of the death of Izu Joseph. Shooting stars abandoned the player. They're not hearing from the JTF, and a lot of talks. Joining us now live in the studio is the younger brother of Izu Joseph, Ruben. Izu joins us on the program. Good to have you on the program, Ruben.
Thank you very much, Austin.
Let's take that story again. On the 16th of October 2016, what really happened?
Well, I thank you very much for giving my family a voice, and for me to be on your station is not all about the Zeus family, but it's all about those who are also experienced one or two brutality from the Nigerian army, but could not make it up to this extent that their voice may be heard all over the world. But that of Izu Joseph is just a sad story, that even a prominent player like that with his ID card can just be killed in a cold, as in murdered in a cold blood. And the Nigerian army, the worst of...
Ruben, let me come in. I know how you feel. We miss Izu Joseph. We want justice to be achieved. Try as much as possible not to malign, slander, or defame anybody's character right here, or use words that will stain their image. But just, can you assure me you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear you.
So, like as I was saying, on the 16th of October, he was actually in his hometown, spending some part of his holiday. On this fateful day, according to the army, their press release, that they had intelligence that some cultists were gathered in so-called a fictional cultist den, as they reported, that they went on a confidence patrol and got into the so-called cultist den, that they shot Izu Joseph there. It is laughable. That was not where Izu Joseph was shot. I'm not disputing the fact they had an intelligence, but I think this is why we could say they should gather enough intelligence before they move into whatever or wherever they feel there are gathering of cultists or whatever. Fine, they have an intelligence. As they came in, they had some boys. It's not even a cultist then. It's popularly called a ghetto. They had some boys there. Now, if you want to arrest whoever you want to arrest, it would have been easier. But they went about shooting that led to the flee. The people had to flee, as in run out of the crime the scene.
What was Izu Joseph doing there?
He was not there. That's where I'm heading to.
Okay.
When the process took, when the thing happened and they shot on air, people started running. In the process of running, they ran into living houses. And that was how they accidentally shot Joseph. And when they shot him, the first man who came close discovered that he shot a wrong person. I discovered that before a military man will pick up your iPad, hold your identity card and phone, he must have hung his rifle. And in the process, flipping through, eyewitness saw it, flipping through his iPad and discovered that this guy is a Nigerian footballer. In the process, the second man, while he was also chasing whoever, I don't know, came to the transom and felt that he was one of the persons they were chasing and released a bullet at him. That was when the first was now questioning him from the drama that took place there.
Did they say his ID card?
Yeah. The first bullet touched him at the leg. That was when he was shouting, "I am not among the persons you are pursuing." And the man was telling him, why were you running? He was explaining himself. He heard the gunshot and people were running towards him. He had to also run for a cover. He has to run for cover. In that process, the man was going to, and the first man, sincerely speaking, was feeling sorry. But the second man came and gave the killer bullet. His colleague was questioning him, but you know how Nigeria is. They had to cover up for themselves. That was when they took his iPad, took his ID card, took his phone and his wallet, and dragged the young man from that spot up to the Orashi River and dumped him there. Now
What's the distance from the Orashi River and that spot?
From the spot they dragged him up to the Orashi River, I would just say a few meters away from that spot. Just a few meters.
In all of that pandemonium, was Izu Joseph running? Was he running for safety?
He was running for safety. An eyewitness saw it. It is all over. Even your correspondent who went to the village, catch up with one of the eyewitnesses, and she expressed what she saw. And that is where I was challenging, the family was challenging the military to come out with their investigation, what they found out, and we are still standing on that ground. If their investigation indict our son that he was shot in the whatever cultist den we will take it to be so. But if he wasn't shot in the cultist den, I urge the army to be gallant enough to do the needful. Same scenario took place in Ghana recently, where the Ghanaian army accidentally killed one of theirs, thinking is an armed robber. The state government, the federal government owned up. Their own federal government owned up. They promoted the man in death, gave him a state burial. But in Nigerian context, when the army made mistake or the police made mistake to kill, they used an opportunity. The only savior of Izu Joseph, they didn't have it in mind that the matter will come up to this point. I guess they would have taken the body to their station and placed an exhibit on him. Maybe we wouldn't have seen the body to have it.
Let's talk about he played for Shooting Stars before we lost him. What role the Shooting Stars played? Has he received allowances? What are they saying to you?
Honestly speaking, I from the burial arrangement, I will thank the club. They really came into the burial arrangement and assisted the family. But after the burial, with the family expected something. Of a truth, we have been pursuing justice all alone. We expected that since he was a formidable and first-team player for 3SC, I was expecting that they will lend their voice to the family and cry for justice. But since after the burial, it has been quiet. And though recently I spoke with the State Commissioner for Sports, and he has promised the family that something will be done. We are still hoping and praying that that thing should really be done, because it's very hard. He had his a little daughter, about 9 years old, that his education is almost truncated because the father was the breadwinner. And it's so sad. It's so sad. I know the pains that is in my family right now. My mom has not gone through the shock. My dad has not also gone through the shock, coming out of BP problem often than ever. I know what I myself am going through, because I grew up with Izu among my other brothers, like though we were twins. I lack words to express what I feel or how I feel right now.
Has the club officials been talking to your family?
Honestly speaking, they've been blank since after the burial. They sent some delegates for his funeral, and after then, I have done my best through the family. We did a letter to the club, copied LMC, copied NPFL, copied all the footballing this in Nigeria. And the commissioner received my letter, and he said he has delivered it to the club. Though he's a nice man, and I've really held on to his words, as he has promised that Izu's case will not be an abandoned one. The club, the state will wade in the possible best they could. And we are just waiting for their calls, because his daughter honestly needs their attention.
We'll continue to monitor this case. Ruben, we must say thank you so much for coming around. We'll try and bring you back again, but hopefully you get to hear from the officials of Shooting Stars.
Thank you very much, Austin.
So that's it. Ruben Joseph, Ruben Izu is the brother of the late Izu Joseph. What a story, really tough times for him and his family. We're just hoping that all those involved, all those Tracy that needs to talk to them and to get their attention, will actually do that. That's the show. But remember, you can keep talking to us on Twitter channels, _sports, Facebook channels, IFA Sports. On behalf of the team, I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.